What would happen if you could change how you view yourself, upgrade the mental models you use to make sense of your life and the world, and eliminate the false stories you tell yourself, the ones that are holding you back from becoming the person you want to become?
Have you ever had that feeling of being exhausted? Not just physically, but mentally and emotionally? You wonder where your energy and spark for life went. Your heart and soul are crying out, there's gotta be more. To me, that feels like being off balance, stumbling, like not being in control. It feels like those times in life when you're too tired to work out because you're working so much and so stressed out that you can't relax. And the thought of climbing out of where you are just seems impossible.
Sound familiar? We get it. We've been there. Then we found an integrated approach to self-development training that spans 5 critical domains of human development. And it changed how we experience our lives as individuals, as teammates, leaders, and in our marriage.
Welcome to the most exciting adventure of your life. Welcome to a new way of living.
There are 5 domains or mountains of our lives that we seek to develop in an integrated manner. When cultivated and integrated, you'll be able to propel yourself to the highest levels of awareness and become the extraordinary person that you are meant to be.
I'm Casey.
And I'm Andy. We're a married couple on a mission to inspire and guide 1 million individuals and couples to live a life of purpose, passion, and self-mastery through the 5 mountains of cutting-edge human development.
Before starting Fierce Planet Adventures, we struggled with fear of change, inconsistency day to day, which led to mental and emotional stress, burnout, and living without a purpose.
These individual struggles manifested as a strain on our relationship, resulting in a lack of alignment, weak communication, and a decline in trust. After discovering the 5-domain integrated model, we were able to find clarity of purpose, inner balance, and reignite our passion for life together. Welcome and thank you for listening. We hope you're healthy and living your best life.
Life is a journey. Every stage of that journey is also its own journey. And many people are never satisfied with where they are, and they miss the joy of their journey. Those who learn to enjoy the journey and appreciate whatever destination that leads to, if it's pointing towards their purpose, their passion, and their principles, seem to be the happiest.
Integration unlocks potential and leads us to experience more of what life has to offer. When we're integrated, we're whole as human beings. And integration means that we're equally or nearly as possible physically strong, mentally sharp, emotionally balanced, intuitively aware, and spiritually and morally clear. This may sound impossible, but it's achievable with discipline and dedicated training, with an integrated training approach to our development.
Today, we're discussing the 5 domains or mountains of Unbeatable Mind, an accelerated vertical development training program designed to develop you as a whole person, not just in 1 or 2 areas of life, but 5 critical areas. If you're not familiar with the term vertical development, you're probably not alone. Vertical development is about understanding and transforming the mental models we use to make sense of the world and how we interact in it. Contrast vertical development with the more common horizontal development, where we focus on upgrading skills and competencies, becoming a better communicator, or learning a new app.
Unbeatable Mind was developed by retired Navy SEAL Commander Mark Devine and has been used to train special operations candidates, Olympic athletes, and business leaders alike. Today's episode is the first in our 5-mountain series, starting with a 14,000-foot view of the mountains from our perspective. As with the journey of self-mastery, there is no there. So too with each of the 5 mountains. Everyone's journey is unique and your path is limitless. This episode of Fierce Planet Adventures podcast is brought to you by 5 Mountain Coaching, licensed Unbeatable Mind coaching, integrated accelerated vertical growth across 5 domains of cutting-edge development designed by retired Navy SEAL Commander Mark Devine. Learn the big 4 skills of mental toughness and resiliency. Discover the 6 pillars of performance. Test your mettle with custom-created crucibles across all 5 domains. Visit 5mountaincoaching.com to schedule your free 1-hour Unbeatable Mind coaching session. That's the number 5, mountaincoaching.com. Begin your journey to becoming unbeatable today.
The first of the 5 domains is the physical mountain. The purpose of climbing this mountain is to build our physical structure. Our goal is to be healthier, fitter, and more resilient. The work within this mountain will lead to a greater sense of mental clarity and confidence. Our bodies are our vehicle for interacting with our physical world. They're an outward manifestation of our inner state.
Do you recall a time in your life when you were fit, healthy, and vibrant? What did you do to achieve that state? Chances are you were engaging in a regular physical training program. How else did physical training manifest in your life? Were you more confident and calm? Were you able to think more clearly? Were you able to manage stress more easily? And did you feel better prepared to take on life's challenges? When we engage in a regular, challenging, functional fitness training program, we not only strengthen our bodies, but also our minds. We build confidence, strengthen our self-image, bleed off stress, and develop the energy to deal with VUCA times like we're currently living in, volatile, uncertain, chaotic, and ambiguous times. We also begin to develop the capacity to show up better for our families, friends, and teams. You can accelerate your growth as a whole person when you choose a challenging physical training program like SEAL Fit that integrates aspects from several different mountains, not only the physical training, but also mental toughness, emotional resiliency, and that stokes your never quit Kokoro spirit.
The second domain is the mental mountain. Climbing the mental mountain is about enhancing our cognitive IQ, cultivating our adaptability, forging mental toughness, developing a positive mind state with mental control and focusing skills, and developing your visualizing capacity to be able to see things in our mind more clearly. This mountain is also about recognizing your cognitive and confirmation biases, questioning and reframing beliefs and biases that keep you from reaching your full potential, and developing the ability to see another person's perspective. Have you ever thought, I don't understand why that person just can't see what's so obvious? Have you taken the time to think about the role your upbringing plays in your view of the world? Have you ever thought about how the quality of your thinking affects your decisions and actions? Have you ever thought, I'm not good enough, or I'll never be able to do that?
As humans, we spend a lot of time in our heads, reliving stories about ourselves that we've picked up along our journey. Many of these stories have been distorted by our perceptions, our ego, and time. Studies suggest that up to 80% of our thoughts are the same thoughts we had yesterday and the day prior. This seemingly ceaseless negative or self-limiting mental chatter serves only to create self-doubt, uncertainty, and fear, keeping us stuck in a fear loop that prevents us from discovering our true selves and living our best life. Chances are you can recall a time when you felt mentally sharp and focused, filled with courage and optimism, ready to boldly take on the world. Take a moment to recall this powerful feeling. Was this feeling fleeting, lasting only a few moments, days, or weeks until something or someone derailed you?
When we train the mental mountain or take time to win in our minds before taking action, we are able to approach life with more focus. We can maintain a more positive perspective for longer periods, and we can develop the ability to see life as abundant and filled with opportunity. We can harness the power of our minds to overcome nearly any obstacle that is placed before us.
Friends, if what we're discussing today, the 5 domains of cutting-edge human development, sounds interesting to you and you want to experience it for yourself, a great place to start is the Unbeatable Challenge. You can try it for free now. There's a link in the show notes. And it's a great way to really jumpstart your 5 domain training and become really clear on your goals for this year and how to crush them. We did this challenge earlier this year, and it was a great way to find clarity and redefine our mission, our purpose. And Casey and I also used it as an alignment piece in our marriage to make sure that we were on the same page. So the link is in the show notes. You can try it for free now. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Take action. The third domain is the emotional mountain. Climbing this mountain is about discovering that many of the things holding us back are emotional baggage from our past. Cultivating greater emotional awareness will uncover what emotions drive our behavior, both positive and negative. Being able to identify the source of that negative behavior and re-engineering it to a more positive emotion. It's on the emotional mountain journey that we learn to connect more deeply with others. How do you manage difficult emotions when they come up in your life? Are you quick to anger or blame others? Are you aware of the emotions in your life that you just don't have that much control over? Are you stuck in the same self-sabotaging loops that keep you from developing deep, meaningful connections with others? Do you have unresolved verbal or emotional injuries that have developed into limiting stories and beliefs, which keep you in a low state of energy, shame, guilt, and fear? Do you have relationships that you want to deepen? Are you aware of what limits you from having those deep connections? How could you show up in life if you had a better understanding of the emotions that drive your behaviors and reactions?
As a society, especially with men, we are taught from an early age not to show emotion, to stuff it down. Don't show weakness or vulnerability, that we need to be islands going it alone. These self-limiting beliefs may be the exact reason why we are unable to create deep, meaningful connections with others, why many are unable to move past emotional wounds experienced throughout their lives and free up the energy it takes to live a life of prosperity, peace, and happiness. You can't reach your full potential unless you're willing to release the negative energy of your regrets and shadow. It is hard work, but necessary to develop harmonious relationships with yourself and others. We have a list of resources and books on our website under resources you may find helpful with your mental and emotional mountain journey.
The fourth domain is the intuitional mountain. In climbing the fourth mountain, we develop our sixth sense. The intuitional mountain is the territory of our enteric nervous system and requires us to learn the language of intuition. This is the mountain where we activate, cultivate, and integrate our heart, as in my heart tells me, and belly, as in gut feeling, with our brain, our whole mind system. Modern research is beginning to reveal a strong connection between our brain, heart, and gut. We traditionally think of our brain or mind as the seat of our consciousness and our decision-making center, filled with neurons firing and creating connections. But our heart also has around 40,000 neurons and is constantly communicating with our brain.
Scientific research is now showing that the brain and the gut are inexorably connected. It has been found that our gut is lined with around 500 million neurons, also called the second brain. It appears that the second brain in the gut can communicate with and send signals up to the brain, helping regulate everything from appetite to emotional state. Can you recall a time when you felt a strong desire to take action or avoid someone, but just couldn't put your finger on the reason behind your feeling? Later, maybe days, weeks, even years down the road, this feeling was validated through additional information. This sixth sense may have been your little brains of your heart or your gut communicating with your actual brain to take action. Ways to strengthen your intuition include deep and consistent work in the first three mountains and sacred silence practices such as meditation and somatic movement practices.
If you've been listening to our podcast or following us on socials, it's probably no surprise to you that I've been dealing with back issues for many years. And I want to take a moment just to tell you about something that I found that's helped me with my flexibility and durability and mobility. and that's called Kokoro Yoga, somatic warrior training. It's not just yoga. It also includes Tai Chi, Qigong, visualization, meditation, and breathwork practices. Practices such as Fit Warrior, Fighting Warrior, which incorporates functional fitness and some martial arts movements. And it's been just a really great way for me to maintain some flexibility and durability as I move through our challenges when we go and do Spartan races and climb mountains. So if this sounds like it's something that could help you out, check it out. The link's in the show notes. The fifth mountain is the Kokoro Mountain. Kokoro is a Japanese term that translates as merging heart and mind in action. This fifth mountain is about integrating the preceding four mountains into our thoughts, hearts, and in bold action in service to humanity. It's living our purpose, standing our ground, and mastering ourselves daily. Work on this mountain is about developing spiritual strength, and it requires us to lead and act with our hearts and authentically connect with and serve families, teams, and communities.
Climbing these mountains and integrating the practices into your life will lead to a more complete human being. These are personal practices meant to be done daily to develop your whole body mind, leading to greater peace of mind and deep alignment with your purpose in service to others.
The commitment to this path is to refine one's body, mind, and spirit, leading to a new way of life.
And this journey is for life.
Live fiercely.